Here's the Chinese team. Now this is going to be a great game. I think this will be our closest game that we've had so far today. Both teams looking good. Both dispatching Kazakhstan. Sri Lanka won 38-17, and there's a lot of fans noted on Twitter. They started pretty slowly, but have to give credit to Kazakhstan, I think, too. They played well in that game and stepped things up from when they lost first thing in the morning to China, 26-0. So both teams have every reason to feel confident that they could take a victory here. Here's a man who might break the deadlock, Surya Bandara. What a magic man he is. The Chinese big, athletic, strong, fast. Sri Lanka with a lot of talent, a lot of pace and guts and determination as well. The Sri Lankans always playing bigger teams but giving their all. It's the ARFU ball, ready to be kicked and punted and passed around for the next 15 minutes. Just short of a referee. Oh, the referee's finally arrived on the scene, getting his last minute briefing. From referee's manager, Alan Whitcomb. And off they go, Surya Bandara with a nice high kickoff that the Sri Lankan hand got to, but swooping in on it was the Chinese player who's showing jet engines. Not even Surya Bandara can drag him down. Great work from, I think it's Wong Wei, who we remarked earlier on the first game this morning, got no time. Ma Chong was the man who was on the outside picking up all the glory with 3 tries. But Wong Wei, a real battle there I think for the Flyers job in the Chinese team. 23-year-old from Beijing, Wong Wei. Wang Jianhua with the conversion. So that's a good start for China. Really putting Sri Lanka on the back foot here. These kickoffs have improved so much from all teams in the Asian Sevens Series. Again, it's China coming through. And he'll go all the way too. He slides in for the try, surely. 2 assistant referees here to give the referee confirmation. And he's given the try. So this is a brilliant start for China. Not in their wildest dreams do they believe they would have been 12-0 ahead after 2 minutes, but they certainly are. There's Wang Jianhua having a little grin about it. They're hitting the ball nicely, aren't they, the Chinese? The passes are nice and empathetic, getting the player running in at pace. I think the try scorer was Chang Chao, so it's very hard to pick up the numbers on the jerseys of these Chinese players. Red on red with a yellow outline. So they get to restart again in Sri Lanka. Well, they'll have to get a score in soon. Goes back, Marija fetches it. Oh, that's nice work on the outside from Wangavulangi. The Fijian fly, he's got to Marija back in support too. And Marija does well. He'll need a bit of a rest after this sprint, the experienced player, but he's done well to get his team back into this fixture. He started it and he finished it. Good brain on his head, in his head, Mr. Fadzil Marija. And converts his own try as well, which we didn't see him kicking in the first game. All sorts of people stepped up for a kick. Pereira, Ratwate, Surabandara. So just getting things back on an even keel here, Sri Lanka. Only 5 points down now. So Suri, with the restart, they go left again. Nice high chip kick. It's Patirana who tried to get underneath it, but China again surging, really strong running, committing themselves to moving forward. Oh, this is Ma Chong, who we mentioned earlier. It's Wong Wei and Ma Chong. They're both fantastically quick, and we're so used to seeing the Sri Lankans with the pace to get around the outside of opposition, but they're being taught a lesson themselves this afternoon by the Chinese team. Wong Wei and Ma Chong creating havoc. China 3 tries to 1. Almost 15 metres in from touch. This kick from Wong Jianhua. He's put that one wide. Wong from Shandong, as are 9 of the squad of 12, only 3 other players from other regions, 2 from Beijing and 1 from Tianjin. And it's a warm welcome back into the commentary booth for Singapore Director of Coaching, Inoki Inoki. The Chinese team started very well, very strongly.
Yeah, I was surprised that Sri Lanka put that kick in the middle to contest, and obviously the Chinese boys are a little bit taller and ended up with a quick try. So it's now that the speed of Sri Lanka is always going to be their surprise. They can bring it to the game.
Here's a guy on Viraratna. We haven't seen him this weekend. This is the first run, I think, and they're showing a bit of urgency now. Where's Wilwara on the outside? Is this him? Yeah, no, it's not. Wilwara's not playing. It's Wangavulangi, who he's an excitement machine himself. Wangavulangi, and what a pleasure to watch this young man in operation.
So this is one of the Fijian imports that they have, and he's brilliant. He's actually got the same body shape as the Sri Lankans, but obviously with all that Fijian flair, it's just going to add an extra piece of arsenal to their attacking ability.
Yeah, well, we talk about the Sri Lankan speed, but a couple of times now they've been burnt on the outside by the Chinese players. So as well as their strength and build, the Chinese have got some speed as well.
They have, and it's a little bit strange because a lot of the Sri Lankan lads are actually picked from their sprinting backgrounds.
Yeah.
So possibly that's a technical error that they're not quite tracking properly. And if you do pick the right line, you should be able to cut off even faster guys than yourself. So they probably have to go back to the drawing board and just have a look at how they're tracking the ball carrier.
So you'll be taking on, or Singapore will be taking on Japan the next game. The boys up for it? Give them a bit of a fright, you reckon?
Well, it's a big ask, but 2 years ago, or was it just last year? Just last year in India, we gave Japan a bit of a fright. No, that was 2 years ago. Last year we gave Hong Kong a bit of a fright, and the year before that we gave Japan a bit of a fright in India as well. So it's, the Japanese will probably remember that we were very good in contesting the ruck. We've done our job that we wanted to do on day one, win a game, and we're in the semi-quarters tomorrow. So that was our number one goal for today.
So you'd be taking on Hong Kong if
lovely feet.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it, to watch?
It is, and the extra gas.
Yeah. Well, he certainly made the difference in the last 5 minutes. Wangavulangi.
Yes.
Seems like just the callers now get the ball to him out wide and he'll do the rest.
And how good is it on their way to the trial line to give you the classical Fijian smile?
Yeah. With those lovely gold teeth by the looks too.
True. No, I think it's the Tongans with the gold teeth.
Yeah, it seems to have caught on as well.
Yeah.
Must be going to a Tongan dentist.
Exactly. No, it's the level of rugby that's been played in this tournament is getting closer and closer to the boys in the in the IRB series, and hopefully over the next decade, the gap is going to be pretty much evaporated.
Well, what a compelling half of rugby there from Sri Lanka and China. China getting out to a big lead, 3-1, and then Sri Lanka slowly pegging them back. And so now they have hit the lead at halftime. Surya Bandara getting a beautiful conversion from the sideline that could make all the difference in the final reckoning. So the score at halftime, 21 points to 17. So when you approach a team like Japan as a coach, Knox, what are you telling the players to do? I mean, obviously belief's very important, but skill-wise, is it the breakdown you'll be concentrating on, do you think?
The breakdown is something that we're particularly good at, so we will contest, but Japan are equally as efficient in recycling their own ball. It becomes a game of chess when both teams are good at something, so it's managing our defensive line, and if they do break, how do we pull them back in, so our sweeper will come into play there. So it's that part of our game has gotten better and better over the last couple of seasons, so it's we've got quite a good comprehensive idea on how to defend and a style of defending which has proved to be quite successful. But Japan, these guys are of a different quality. They play in a tough league. This team's actually brought in a few of their top players out of club rugby, so they're serious about this. I'll be happy if the boys put on a good show. I'm not expecting them to win, but who knows, they might surprise us.
So China 4 points down after such a bright start, so this will test their mettle, and an important clash. This will decide who gets to play the second ranked team from another pool. The winners of Pool B are destined to take on the second place team in Pool H, which potentially, or Pool D now as they call it, could be the Malaysian team, which may be a bit easier than Korea. Let's see. I mean, Korea and Malaysia, you can never say never either, because I think Malaysia gave them a fright here last year and beat them.
Malaysia are not looking like they're firing on all cylinders at the moment, but they've got the quality in their players to be really, really good and beat the top tier teams. But equally, I mean, China here in Sri Lanka also have that capability also.
That was great skill from Ratwate. Hit the ball at his knee and just popped up, and quickly reflexes got him to grab the ball and march on as if nothing had happened.
Great offload.
Nice flip from Marija, yes. And here's Patirana, one of the stronger members of their team. Ratwate.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's Ranjan. Oh, that ball needed to be taken
forward.
Yeah, a little high from Ranjan. So a let off there for China.
If that was an offload to another Fijian, it would have stuck. But it's just a little bit of a surprise to get that offload off. It's the Sri Lankan boys. They've actually got very good hands, and that's from their cricketing background. And Sri Lanka being their number one sport being cricket, they're very quick with their hands, and their hand-eye coordination is pretty amazing.
So Wong Wei's gone into halfback. Fung. Nice cut inside from Ma Chong.
Didn't release her, so.
Well, that's an interesting one. Ref's gone the other way, yeah.
Yeah, that was well called by the referee.
Yep.
The support attacker was late in arriving, and the defender over the ball had all rights to the ball.
So here's Wangavulangi. He gets tied up this time, and
that's
coming from the side.
Side and went down.
So Sri Lanka get it quickly again.
Super quick restart.
Yes, Ratwate goes away. He's got Jung Chao, who drags him down. Good arms from Jung Chao as well. He got his arms separated from the tackle. This will be interesting. What happened?
Yeah,
did he come
might be that he didn't release the ball carry after the tackle.
Really?
No, that's a weird call, because it was only ever the tackler that got up back on his feet to
and he got big arms. He got big arms above his head before he went in and grabbed the ball. No. So never mind. Sri Lanka will take this chance with open arms.
China one man down, and it makes it so easy.
Yeah. So there we are, almost lying over and tickling their belly there. Patirana going in for the try. So that stretched it beyond the 7-point margin. Yeah, I know these things. I feel sorry for the referees. Sometimes they happen so quickly, and especially at the end of a 50 or 60 metre run, you're swooping in at pace, and your microphone's bouncing around probably around your chin. And
yes, it is hard for these referees. They are getting better per tournament, so it's they go for a good review system of what they can do better in the next tournament. They are definitely better from the Hong Kong tournament. They had a few errors, and they've corrected most of them in this tournament. In that case there, it was clearly the tackler that got back up on his feet, and he had all rights to the ball. But it was, that's one that they'll review, I'm sure, for the next tournament.
So Wong Jia Cheng and Feng Wanru, who's been a bit subdued today at first receiver. Marie just stepped up for this game. First came into prominence at the Hong Kong Tens. We saw him. Ranjan goes up to challenge. It's Wang Jianhua who gets the ball.
Okay.
And now Fu Yingli, Feng.
Going into a bit of traffic there, so it's makes it much easier for the Sri Lankans to contain them.
Yeah, here's Ma Chong, who's certainly got a bit of pace.
Upload.
Eventually goes to his inside support, Fu Yingli.
Okay, let's see if they can spread it out to the centres.
Yeah, well, there's a
good.
floater of a pass, so out it goes to
nice
Wong
line.
Wei. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so it's yes, well done again.
Liu Hua Chang. And
we've got the penalty advantage if they can play it. Do they need it? No, they don't need it. Get it. And the advantages will be over after this.
Out goes his Feng again. He's scrambling around the outside, decides to go back to his right, and there's a little forward pass.
Oh.
Sadly, Ma Chong's bid for the corner will mean nothing. There's Feng just extorting his teammates. They're not out of this game yet. There's a couple of minutes to go.
Yeah, a chance missed there. There was a clear overlap down that side, or he had a bit of space to get around his defender, and if the pass had just been straight or back a little bit, they would have cashed in.
So yeah, this is an interesting development, isn't it, with Sri Lankan rugby. We had Anurada Vilvara playing out of his skin in Hong Kong, the number 3 on the outside. Stocky little guy, gravity, low centre of gravity, playing brilliantly, got a bag of tries. Then we see a Fijian coming in, Wangavulangi, in his place. You know, I won't ask you the tough question, but it's crossed my mind that is it good for Asian rugby to have this? Well, I can understand why Sri Lanka would want to bolster their team, perhaps in the pack with a bigger man, a bit more physical presence, but here's Marija going away with it. It's an interesting conundrum for some of these Asian teams.
Yes, and it's there's no right answer to this. I think it's this whole rugby development is always a one big experiment, and you've got to choose which direction you want to go and keep that same direction for a while to see if it does work. And that's something that other teams can do for you. So Singapore, nice step there. So it's
Ma Chong,
Ma Chong, nice.
5th try of the tournament.
Wow.
So good work. You've got to convert this quickly though. They may have one more chance after this conversion to go for victory here. There's a tactical substitution. I think they're just saying maybe the time should be off.
Yes, again, a tough question to answer. You go local, or do you bring in a few expats that can help you win? Singapore's stance is that we're going local, and we've got the SEA Games next year that you can only play your nationals in it. So it doesn't make any sense to us to have any guys that are not eligible. So it's an easy decision for Singapore.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think China went for the conversion there. They were more than happy just to come back and score a try to win the game. So there won't be any drop goal scenario or anything.
Well, that's that new rule from IRB, allowing you, if there's 40 seconds or less, to forget about taking the conversion. You tell the referee that you just want to go straight off the kickoff again, so you can concentrate on scoring another 5 points.
Yep. Seems to be the option they've taken. So last chance saloon here for the Chinese team. seconds left on the clock, and they need a try. Eventually comes out to that big man Wong Jiacheng, the ex-shot putter. Needs support here on the wing. Ball comes
Offside
out eventually. Yeah, I think the refs.
He's going to let it go.
Yeah.
So China under a bit of pressure here. The defense will be nicely aligned here. So
here's Ma Chong again.
And
he's been shuffled nicely outside though to the touchline by Wilvara. Wilvara finally gets on the field.
There's no clock up on the big scoreboard here,
here's
so we
Saria.
don't know. So this finishes the conclusion is that China cannot win.
Surya Bandara decides to scoot through for a try. Well done from the diminutive scrum half. It's really a joy to see him back as one of the Chinese players tries a last-ditch attempt at preventing him from scoring, but that'll be the game to Sri Lanka. So they will go through as top qualifier of Pool B. China in second place, and down the bottom is Kazakhstan.
Maybe to add to the decision of whether to use expats or go with what your country's strengths are. I actually enjoyed watching Sri Lanka at the Commonwealth Games. They played a nice brand of rugby. They scored a lot of abrasive tries and they won a few games. So, you know, if I would prefer that they stick to their game, that they're particularly good with speed and their passing skill is very good, their catching skills are very good, and they can beat teams at the Commonwealth Games. Having an extra strong